EGM Network.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Well, hi there, and welcome. And I am very happy, and you should be too. It looks like the Mideast that has been with skirmishes and undeclared war, even by Congress and the United States. But we've lost thousands of people, a few at a time, between Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas for the last 15 years. And before that, there were skirmishes too. It never ended, but was not a full-scale war. And in Iraq, there were all these skirmishes with many of our soldiers killed, and they lost their legs, many of them, thousands of them. And that was never declared a war, but it's funny, some people decided to call this one little skirmish on a weekend with the stellar bombers. Boy, they wanted to say, oh, you got to declare war first. I thought that was funny. Absolutely stupid, to be truthful.
You mean when they sent over that big bomb on the stealth bombers?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well.
First of all, it's the only bomb I know of that they went, or bombs, that went out of their way not to kill any people or pedestrians or residential areas. And that is exactly what happened, down to a T. For years, even in Trump's first term, even going back to Bill Clinton, even Obama, they all said Iran should never get a nuclear bomb. They all said it and did nothing about it, including the Bushes. All those presidents were well aware of the trouble with Iran, the axis of evil, as they called it, and did nothing on it. And here in one weekend, Trump took care. No sense killing the people. I mean, 80% of them even hate the current regime. What are you throwing bombs all over the place for? No, they went right to get rid of all the nuclear arsenals and the nuclear locations. And they didn't even blow up oil refineries or anything else which would cripple the country. That should be a very big message that for a 35-hour, 36-hour event, no one was killed at all, no one disabled, none of the staff and pilots, none of them had any problems whatsoever, and that was achieved. And as much as the Ayatollah may have hated us and still hates us, because that hate doesn't go away overnight, we all know about that. Nonetheless, he was thankful that we didn't try to take him out, even though we knew where he was. We're not after regime changes when we don't know what comes next. So we avoided disturbing the economy at Iran, and they appreciate it. And the last-ditch effort that they made that happened, they had to give a retaliation somewhere to make themselves look halfway respectable to their constituency, they called the U.S. and they called Qatar, or Qatar as most people pronounce it, and told them that we were sending 6 missiles when they would arrive, and we're not aiming at hitting any structures or people, and gave them plenty of warning. And lo and behold, we sent anti-missiles that inactivated all of them up in the air. And believe it or not, Iran didn't mind that. They hoped that's exactly what would happen, because they did not want to escalate the war and have the U.S. coming after their oil refineries, their capital, everything about them. So they're very appreciative, and so they just did that small little, I'm not going to call it a favor because that's ridiculous, but a little something to prove that they retaliated.
Yeah, it was like their show of force. I had watched on one of the news channels, there was an interview with one of the main people from Iran, and he was saying that they had weaponry that we didn't know about, and they weren't down to their last missiles, and he went on and on and on trying to save face. So I don't think really that most of that, what he was saying, was actually accurate, but that's just my opinion.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. No, that's true. Also, some nice, good collateral good things happening instead of collateral damage. Both Russia and China took a step back. They know they couldn't do what the U.S. just did with the Stellar bombers, the B-2s. So they're going to look at things a little different, too. And what really bothers me is not any of that, but the fake news getting worse. It's not the start of World War III, it's the closest we've had to Mideast peace, because this war that they're trying to say Trump created was going on for 46 years.
You know what, I'm going to say 6,000 years more.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. I mean, before...
including, I said 46 years to include all our Republican and Democratic presidents who did nothing to de-escalate it.
Right, yeah, but it was going on long before that, Martha.
Yeah, you're right. It is for 6,000 years.
Yeah.
Let's say 2,000 years at least.
Yeah, back when the dinosaurs were still there. But anyway, I'm making fun of it. But yeah, it seems like, you know, that bomb is kind of amazing, and that's an awful statement to make on my part, but it was so pinpointed and
specific.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would scare you if you saw that, you know, that coming out of the sky, yeah.
And with such a big, those big, what is it, 30,000-pound bombs, it's hard to make them be agile and specific, you know, when it's one big explosion.
Well, from what I read, and I'm thinking that this is accurate, that the uniqueness of that bomb is the shell thickness.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it not destruct like as soon as it's dropped, where it can get further into the ground. Quite a unique
It's thing. Quite a unique thing.
And not be nuclear.
That's correct.
And not be nuclear, although they're sending over, well, yeah.
And then also the not even an attempt to strike them back or know where they were flying. Even know where they were flying.
Well, isn't the premise of those stealth bombers that you don't see them? I don't know.
Yes. Well, you can't detect them on radar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you can see them if you really, really look, but they're so thin and small, you're wondering if they're almost a private plane at a distance.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of armament coming out, you know, that maybe the rest of the world didn't really know that we had or knew its capabilities.
Yeah, well, we never put it to we put it to testing, but not to real testing.
In real action, yeah.
In real action. Yeah.
Well, again, that it's not a nuclear bomb.
And what also bothered me is the fake news said, that strait of, what is it? Where the oil goes through and was stopped by Iran in the past, that's not going to happen again, because 20% of all the oil coming from Iran goes to China. So they're going to block the transport of going down the Arabian Sea in order to get to China. I don't think so.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
I wouldn't be messing with that.
And so it's just ridiculous, the thing that the fake news was coming up with no justification for it. If anything, Iran during this 12-day venture or 12-day war with Israel, if anything, I've never heard of China and Russia more silent while all of this is happening.
Yeah. Well, they're watching it play out, I'm thinking. You know, it's like sitting on the sidelines. Yeah, they're sitting on the sidelines. And they're very
much on the sidelines. They didn't help Iran at all.
No.
I found that very interesting. And then the U.S. bombing was so amazingly successful and spectacular. I think that set them on their seat a little while, too. That is Putin and Xi from China. But anyway, getting on with it, what I really look forward to, and this is what our message this morning is all about. Already, Saudi Arabia has applied for a good trade relationship now with Israel, and it has already been achieved with Egypt and Qatar and also Jordan. If all these people have peace trade deals, and even if Iran can turn around, stop making missiles with all their money and donations from other countries, give that to the people for rising industry, maybe more oil refineries, more peaceful negotiations in terms of raising farm produce and what have you, we could have a Mid-East like we've never had before, not only in my lifetime, but in hundreds and 1,000 years, without a sore spot somewhere. That possibility exists right now for the future, no matter what the fake news says. And Trump is not a warmonger. If anything, he's gone out of his way to have peace and given extra chances to people at almost the point of being a sucker, because he really wants peace.
Right.
But what makes him spectacular is, okay, no, we've given you warning, no fooling us. We have to get some things done, and he does it. And that's the difference between him and all other presidents in my lifetime, Republican and Democrat. This should not be a party thing, and shame on Pelosi actually finding out how successful all this was. Shame on her for saying, "Oh, let's impeach Trump." She knew it's not going to happen with a majority in the House and Senate. And it's not going to happen when many of the moderate Democrats said, oh, boy, good things are happening that we weren't able to accomplish before. We're so much happier. And I don't know how she can get away with saying things like that without making a fool of herself.
Yeah. Well, that seems more ego. The one thing that I want to say, too, in my opinion, Martha, with the way this played out these past couple of days, it takes off the table that black cloud that's hanged over everyone's head, of they're going to press the button.
Yes.
We're going to press the button and that's it. We're going to do this and do that and whatever. And when the twice that it happened in wartime, you saw the unbelievable destruction. Who wants that ever to happen again? So this was a different route.
A very different route.
That, in my opinion, takes that thing off the table that says, okay, let's just press the button, get it done with.
That's right.
You know, a complete annihilation, which serves no one. We're going to go back to the dinosaur era.
And all those innocent people would never be, things would never be forgiven.
Right. And all the people and animals and whatever else you want to throw into the mix being hurt in the meantime.
Yes, this was also what I also criticize both parties for who believe in it, that before this stellar bomb was set, they should have declared war or gone through Congress. That is ridiculous. This was not an event that killed one single person. This was literally a total of a 36-hour event to get rid of nuclear material that could have blown up in all countries, accidentally or on purpose or both. Yeah. And this world could have come to an end.
Right. And again, it seems like an archaic term, the war. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, because there are no boots on the ground, soldiers.
Yeah, what does it mean really anymore in this day and age to declare war on something?
That's something else.
Yeah, it is.
Now, that's not true between Israel and Iran. They both lost people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But talking about the Democratic Party and the one-day event of our involvement, to say you have to declare war for that is ridiculous. Yeah. And I have news for you. Obama, on the problem that happened over in Kosovo, and he intervened with troops and planes, he didn't declare war for that.
Well, the last declared war was what? World War II?
Yeah, World War II was the last declared war. All of going in and taking Hussein out in Iraq, that was more than 12 days, and that was boots on the ground and people on both sides dying. And that was not a declared war. Yeah. So stop this nonsense now. So I see prosperity. I see trading of food and commodities. I see all kinds of vacation travel and good things happening to the Mideast. And I never felt this positive before in my entire lifetime. So let's take a break, and I have a couple of more tips for you. Stay with us. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's hairstyling salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's luxury nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Sofas, love seats, dining sets, bedroom groups in the latest styles and colors from Four Seasons, Braxton Color, Riverside, Hooker, Capri, Tommy Bahama, and more. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have anything you need for your outdoor living from Lloyd Flanders, Kingsley Bate, Brown Jordan, and Woodard, including a gallery of maintenance-free furniture from Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. Right now, during our summer savings event, we have lots of great half-price specials, including 50% off on all in-stock Universal Coastal Living collections. And all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street that is filled with name brand closeouts. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Well, hi and welcome back. Hey, I want to talk about all the good things that I hope are going to be promoted the next 3 or more years in the Mideast. Everything from good tourism, nice hotels being built, in some cases rebuilt, and all the history that there is for many religions, for all of the Muslims, all of Christianity, all of Judaism. That Mideast is a hotbed of information and all kinds of good things to visit, to see, to respect. Of all these battles that we mentioned earlier have been going on for like well over 2,000 years. And before Christianity was even born.
Yeah. You know, I did see a news article a couple of years ago, I don't remember where it was, it doesn't matter, that talked about that. All the things that have been lost in these skirmishes, these battles, these interactions. Yeah.
And I remember myself, I visited this church. I think it was originally called the Church of the Sepulchre, but a not very traveled church in Italy. And the biggest thing that affected me is I walked in the door, and about 6 inches from the floor was the top head of Jesus. That's because the bombs and fighting, all of these old churches have completely been demolished, just like Fort Dow was, and went down to the bottom. And that survived, and a new church was built on top of it.
Yeah.
That really caught my breath and took it away. And I'm hoping that all kinds of good relics being found and memories of events we don't even know about as I speak will happen in the Mideast, along with their production of increase in trade. So on that note, I'm going to say so long, folks. Let's have a very good week.